All right, everybody. Welcome to Storytime Sessions with me. You guys can get rid of your spoons. I'm going to get rid of spoons and I'm going to just start doing it on here. I'm trying out a new method, so we'll see how that goes. And we'll get to her. So the book I'm about to read is called One True Way by Shannon Hitchcock. Some of you have already heard some of it. That's okay. Let's get her going and get her done. Allie Drake, staff reporter, August 1977. Can you guys hear me all right? Hopefully. I'm about to look at the book, so I won't be able to see. Let me know if you can't hear me. My life was about to change. I had two goals on my first day at Daniel Boone Middle School: make a friend and join the newspaper staff. It was the perfect job for me. I was a people watcher, a tad nosy, and an excellent typist. Perfect, thanks, guys. I studied each of the kids in health class, trying to find one who looked friendly. Instead, Samantha Johnson found me. She swung around in her seat and stuck her hand out like a politician. "Just call me Sam," she said. "I know all the kids at DB, so you must be new." My reporter's antenna went up. The girl had confidence. She was just the kind of kid who would introduce me to her friends. "Allison Drake." My voice came out scratchy, like I had a frog in my throat. "Ribbit, ribbit," Sam said. "Ribbit, ribbit," I answered. I was usually shy around people I didn't know, but something about Sam felt different. Right from the start. "Bet you don't have anybody to sit with at lunch," she said. If not for her big toothy smile, I would have been embarrassed to admit it. "You can eat with me," Sam decided. "Would you rather sit with the jocks, the brains, the theater kids, or the Debs? I'm one of the few kids who can sit at any table." Sam didn't say it in a braggy way, in a braggy, I'm full of myself way, but like she was stating facts. "Debs?" I asked. "Yeah, future debutantes. They're the most popular girls in 7th grade. In a couple of years, they'll be high school cheerleaders, majorettes, and riding in convertibles in the homecoming parade." I couldn't imagine anybody who'd have less in common with a Deb than Sam. She had on a t-shirt that said Daniel Boone Pioneers tucked into her bell-bottoms. Her hair was cut into a wedge like the figure skater Dorothy Hamill, and she was probably the friendliest person I had ever met. Sam was also in my English class, which met right before lunch. She didn't have a pencil or a notebook and slouched down in the seat in front of me. "What's happening, Sam I am?" asked the boy with the afro. He wore a silky shirt and the sleeves rolled up to his elbow and a comb handle protruded from his back pocket. "Not much, Dwayne. I won a couple trophies riding Penelope over the summer. Have you met Allison?" Dwayne shook his head. He had a nice, easy smile. "Here, Sam," said one of the Debs and handed her a pencil and a few sheets of notebook paper. "Thanks, Kelly. This is Allison." If you asked me, Kelly looked like all the other Debs. Long, silky hair parted down the middle, perfect teeth, and a cute figure. I was a little envious of her, to be honest. "Welcome to DB," said a girl with thick red hair. It flowered in feathered layers that reminded me of my brother's Farrah Fawcett poster. Farrah Fawcett poster. I remember those posters. Man, she was good. She snapped the rings open on her binder and handed Sam some mimeographed sheets. Thought you might like a copy of the notes of my science class. Sam flashed her a smile. Phoebe, if it wouldn't be too much trouble, maybe I could copy your notes every day. Phoebe nodded, so hard her bangs bounced. I learned 3 things in English class that day. Number 1, we were going to read Johnny Tremaine. Number 2, Sam was skating through middle school without doing much work. And number 3, she had a horse named Penelope. After class, I followed Sam to the lunchroom. Did you decide which kids you'd like to sit with? She asked. No contest. I wanted to sit with the newspaper kids. You didn't mention the pioneer staff, but I'd really like to meet them. I plan to be the best reporter in the history of DB Middle School. Okay, Sam said. We'll sit across from Webster. He's the editor-in-chief. I barely had time to say how Webster was a great name for an editor before Sam slapped down her brown paper bag. Hey, Web, this is my friend Allison. She's new at DB. Webster and I had a lot in common, I could already tell. Both of us had thick blonde bangs that we liked to hide behind, wire-rimmed glasses, and judging from the newspaper spread out in front of him, a love for reading. Nice to meet you, Webster said. Sam, did your mom bake chocolate chip cookies? I'll trade you a bag of chips for a cookie. Sam reached into her snack and handed him a cookie. Keep your chips, Webb. I need a favor. Webb bit into the cookie. He said with a look of pure chocolate bliss spread across his face. What's the favor? I leaned towards him. The favor is for me. I used to work on a school newspaper in New Jersey, and I want to be a reporter here too. Normally, I request a writing sample. I would have shown him 100 samples, but Sam handed Webb another cookie. I know you have strict rules, but let's cut through the red tape on the account of Allie's new. She can interview me about winning the trophy at the Pinto World Championship horse show. My mom took great pictures. Done, Webb said. If Allie turns in a good interview with pictures, she can join my team. I was usually called Allison because my mom hated nicknames, but I didn't correct them. I liked the sound of it. Allie Drake, staff reporter. End of chapter 1. Shall I keep going? All right. How do you explain a dead brother? I waited in the bleachers for Sam to finish basketball practice. I scribbled interview questions, noting that she played point guard. I sketched the way her hair bounced as she dribbled. She was beautiful. No, that wasn't exactly the right word. She was handsome. Usually I wouldn't describe a girl as handsome, but in Sam's case, it fit. At the sound of Coach Murphy's whistle, Sam drove towards the basket. Gliding through the air, she scored a layup. How'd she do that? I didn't have an athletic bone in my body. When practice was over, Sam headed for the locker room. About 20 minutes later, she climbed the bleachers with a towel snug around her neck. Want to go to my house? You can interview me after supper. I wanted to go home with Sam like a normal kid, but my mom would have had a stroke. She had been overprotective since my brother died. I can't, but maybe you could come home with me. Sure, Sam said. Lead the way. The house we had rented was only a couple blocks from school. I carried an armload of books while Sam dribbled her basketball down the street. Her hair was damp from the shower she had taken after practice, and mine was damp from the North Carolina heat. Thanks for introducing me to Webb. Being a reporter really means a lot to me. No problem, Sam said. She dribbled her basketball between her legs. Do you have any brothers and sisters? I never knew how to answer that question. Should I just say no because Eric was gone? Or should I say yes and leave it at that? Or simply tell the truth? There is no easy way to explain a dead brother. Well, do you? Sam asked. Nope, it's only me. That answer caused a guilty conscience, but telling the truth would have made me cry. I was sick of crying. I wanted to be a regular kid again. What about you? Sam's whole face lit up. I have an older sister and a younger brother. Melissa's a sophomore at DB High, and Jonathan's only 5. He's cute and funny. You'll love him. For just a minute, I was so jealous. I had wished I hadn't met Sam. Kids who have brothers and sisters don't know how lucky they are. But to be fair, I didn't know either. Not until Eric died. My dad farms, Sam continued, and my mom's a church secretary. What about yours? Um, my mom's the new librarian here in town, and dad's still living in New Jersey. What I didn't say is that they were probably going to get a divorce, and I blamed my dad. We used to be the perfect family. Dad, Mom, Eric, and me. We even had the pictures to prove it. While I unlocked the door, Sam kept bouncing her ball. I wondered why she couldn't relax. Where did all the nervous energy come from? Our den was full of boxes from our move. I started to apologize for the mess, but the words clumped together like saltwater taffy. While I had been at school, Mum had hung our family portrait over the fireplace. She believed Dad would come back to us, but I didn't need another reminder that both he and Eric were gone. Every day their empty seats at the kitchen table stole my appetite. My bottom lip trembled. I tried to make it stop, but I couldn't control it. I used to have a family. She turned me around so I didn't have to see the portrait. You look like a lost puppy. The tone of her voice was gentle. Sam understood. For the first time since Eric had died, somebody was solely focused on me. Mom and Dad had been so caught up in their own grief that I had become invisible, my glasses fogged from my tears. Sam took them off my face and wiped the lenses on her t-shirt. I don't know exactly what happened, but I do want to be your friend. She had seen me cry, but liked me anyway. It seemed like a minor miracle. I left her and ran into the bathroom to wash my face. You okay in there? When I opened the door, Sam was staring up at my family's portrait with her hands on her hips. I called my mom. It's okay if I stay for supper. I was relieved that she still wanted to stay. It was proof that I hadn't scared her away. My mom's working late. You want a sandwich? Sam wrinkled her nose. Not really. I'm always starved after basketball practice. How about I cook? That was fine by me, though I had never had a friend offer to make me dinner before. I led the way to the kitchen and watched Sam whip up some omelets. My only contributions were setting the table and pouring the orange juice. Sam focused on her omelet and didn't ask me any questions. Finally, I couldn't stand the silence. Eric died in a car crash. I hate telling people because then they feel sorry for me and it gets all weird. Sam stood and put the bread into the toaster. I'm sorry it happened, and I promise not to get all weird, she shrugged. At least not any weirder than I already am. That's fair. We all got a little streak of weird in us. Can I ask you a question? Sam grabbed the toast that had just popped up. Sure. Why is Phoebe copying your notes for you? Oh, that. Sam reached for a knife and spread the butter on her toast. It's embarrassing. Tell me anyway. I'm a bad student, but a pretty good athlete. My friends help me out so I can play on the basketball team. Are you doing your absolute best? I hadn't really thought about it. I have. I think you're smart, but taking the easy way out. She grinned. Maybe. I'll help you too, but only if you promise to try really hard. Sam nodded. I like you, Allie Drake. None of my other friends would say that. I like you too. A lot. I took charge of washing the dishes while Sam dried. She loved to cook, but didn't much like cleaning up. About 15 minutes later, Mom came home. Mom, this is my new friend Samantha Johnson. Just call me Sam, she said. I took a seat at the kitchen table and watched Sam use her charm. Not only did she make Mom an omelet, Sam borrowed my glasses, shook her hair into her face, and imitated Webster. Chocolate chip cookies, she said. I don't need a writing sample from Allie. For 2 cookies, she could be editor-in-chief. Mom laughed. Sam, I think you could sell ice to an Eskimo. I don't know any Eskimos, Sam said. But could I talk you into letting Allie go to my house tomorrow? Mom held her hand up like she was fending off an attacker. We still have unpacking to do, and I haven't met your parents. Please, Mom. Sam will give you the number, and you can talk to her mom ahead of time. But I need to make new friends. Don't you want me to be happy here? She sighed. No promises, but I'll call Mrs. Johnson. I was a step closer to being a regular kid again. That's the end of chapter 2. Gotta see how much time is left on. Alright, I might be able to do another chapter for you guys. Hopefully, if you want another one, I'll do one more. So, chapter 3. Coach Murphy. The next day reminded me of a Carly Simon song. It was all about the anticipation of going to Sam's house. I wanted the new best friend almost as much as I wanted to be a reporter. In health class, Coach Murphy announced we'd be studying the musculoskeletal system. She taught us in an unusual way by playing an imaginary basketball game with Sam. Coach dribbled a pretend ball. Sam lunged and tried to steal it. Coach threw an elbow. I'm calling foul on that one, Dwayne said. Exactly, Coach said. But because of her ribs, Sam didn't get hurt. What organs do your ribs protect? Lungs, Phoebe said. What else? Heart, said one of the Debs. Coach raised her elbow to the side of Sam's head. Sam's brain is protected by her skull, somebody shouted. The whole class period was like that. Coach made learning fun. Maybe she'd give me a couple quotes about Sam. Quotes always jazz up an article. I'd ask her after school. In English class, I fidgeted as much as Sam. Not even historical fiction could take my mind off going home with her. At lunch, Sam wanted to sit with the jocks. She took a seat in front of Dwayne Williams. Big D, you think the Tar Heels are going to be any good this year? The Tar Heels are a sure thing, Dwayne said. Coach Smith will have those boys whipped into shape. I didn't have much to say because I didn't know the first thing about college basketball. My mom had warned me it was like religion in North Carolina. I should have paid attention. I didn't know any of the players that Sam and Dwayne discussed, but I decided to become best friends with the sports page. When the long school day finally ended, I headed to Coach Murphy's office. I gave a quick knock and pushed the door open. Miss Holt, our English teacher, was standing very close to Coach, and she was crying. Coach's eyes darted from Mrs. Holt to me. Can I help you, Allison? Both teachers looked uncomfortable, like I had walked into the dressing room while they were changing their clothes. Well, I'm writing a profile about Sam Johnson for the school paper, and I thought maybe you could give me a couple quotes. Coach nodded. Let me think about it. I'll jot some down, and we can talk tomorrow. I backed out the door. I didn't know what was wrong with Mrs. Holt, or why I had made them feel so uncomfortable. but my reporter's antenna was humming. I planned to find out. Sam lived about 5 miles outside of town, and we took the late bus to her house. Those 5 miles made a big difference. Instead of a house on a tree-lined street, Sam lived on 25 acres. When I saw her family's barn and pasture, I quoted a line from the Big Red Barn. By the big red barn in a great green field. Sam nodded. My brother loves that book. She pointed towards the barn. Do you want to go meet people or horses first? Definitely people. No way Mom would have let me visit if she had known about the horses. I'd tried not to let her fears affect me, but they had. I had always been cautious, but lately it was more than that. I expected something else bad to happen at any moment. When Sam pushed open the back door, a small body barreled towards her. Hey, John, she said and lifted him into the air. Can we play horse? He asked. Sam winked at me and dropped to her knees. Jonathan scrambled to get on her back and grabbed a hold of Sam's shirt. Neighing like a horse, Sam crawled around the mudroom and into the kitchen. I tagged along behind. Sam's older sister looked out from the books she had spread across the kitchen table. Hi, I'm Melissa. Uh-oh. The video's ending. How many more pages? Oh. Well, hopefully it goes into something decent after this one. Let me see what's after this before I continue on. Yeah, that'll work. Just keep going with that. Works for me. Works for me. Skip the motherfucking ads. You guys don't need to see that. There we go. Melissa and Sam had the same dark eyes, but they didn't look alike. Melissa was thin and willowy. She had on makeup and her fingernails were painted. Melissa was a Deb. Nice to meet you. I'm Allie Drake. It amazed me that the same parents had daughters as different from each other as Sam and Melissa. When Jonathan finally got tired of playing horse, Sam and I climbed the stairs to her bedroom. An entire wall was covered in bookshelves, but instead of books, the shelves held ribbons, trophies, and pictures of Sam. In some of them she was riding her horse, in others she was playing basketball. Sam plopped down on the plaid quilt covering one of the twin beds. The Pinto World Championship Horse Show is in Tulsa, Oklahoma, she said. You went all the way to Oklahoma to ride in a horse show? Sam grinned. Yeah, my mom thought it was a crazy idea, but my dad loves horses as much as I do. The whole family went except for Melissa. I picked up a picture from the shelf of Sam wearing chaps and an enormous belt buckle. Guess you'd have to dress the part. Yep, and the horse has to look good too. When Penelope was first born, I noticed her coat was as shiny as a new penny. That's where her name comes from. She's a beautiful horse. I'll teach you to ride her, Sam said. I shook my head. My mom would worry that I'd get hurt. Sam sat up and leaned against the headboard. You could fall down the stairs on the way to supper, or slip in the bathtub, or get bit by a rabid raccoon. If you're afraid all the time, you'll never have any fun. Sam looked so serious. A rabid raccoon, huh? Are there a lot of those around? I've never met one yet, Sam said. That's my whole point. You're wasting your time worrying over things that will never happen. That was the difference between us. Nothing bad had ever touched Sam's family. But since Eric's had died, my safety net had a huge hole in it. I stopped by Coach Murphy's office to get a quote for our interview, but something strange happened. Sam leaned forward and rested her elbows on her knees. What? Coach was with Miss Holt, and I got a weird feeling, like I interrupted something private. Sam looked away. Coach is my best friend. At least, she's my best adult friend. When I first met her, I knew we were alike. Because you both like sports? Yeah, something like that. Don't mention what you saw to anybody else, okay? The way Sam's voice sounded, serious and sad, made me even more curious. I promise, but can you tell me why? Sam shook her head. I asked Coach a hard question, and she told me the truth. I can't break her trust in me. She climbed off the bed. Do you smell hamburgers? I bet Mom could use some help in the kitchen. I was left holding a picture of Penelope while Sam clambered down the steps. She knew something about Coach and Miss Holt that I didn't. That was my first clue. All right. 3 chapters down. Stay tuned for another session where we will do 2, 3, maybe 4 more chapters. Who knows? Did you guys like the book? Do you find it interesting? No comment. No comment. Yeah, you're enjoying it? Good, good, good. Are you the only one here? No, it says there's 5 of you here. I don't know who's here, but was it nice with all the stone wall pictures in the background and loved it? Good, good. So calming. Excellent, excellent. Thanks for reading. No problem, guys. Thoroughly enjoy it. You guys know that. What did you think of just the flashing of all the pride stuff? Was that okay? It wasn't too distracting while I was reading, was it? Excellent. That's good. That's what I want. I just had to have something on in the background because that's what I want. I want you just to perfect. No, I just wanted you to listen to my voice, but I wanted to try it on the StreamYard platform and see how that worked out and see how it goes. So, with that, my friends, I am going to call it a night. I am going to have a snack, have a smoke, and crawl into bed. Busy day tomorrow. Busy, busy day tomorrow. It's going to be a gooder. Thank you all for tuning in. Pay attention to my page, and within the next couple days, I will do a few more chapters. So, yeah. That's too cool. Good night. Oh, you liked it? Yeah? You stuck around? Thank you guys for joining me. If you guys liked it, I will keep it up. Good night. Enjoy your peanut butter cup. Yes. I am going to have peanut butter cups for sure. I liked it. Good night. Good night, you lovely humans. I'm gonna end the broadcast now. We will see you soon. Oh, you can't see me. I was waving. Never mind. Peace out, my friends.